Oh, who's this absolute tower of power with the most luscious hair you have ever seen in your life? Well, it's Az from Heel vs. Babyface, obviously. And today we're gonna hear about how The Flash absolutely just dropped the ball in the box office to an unbelievable disaster. And well, who would have obviously expected that? No one wanted The Flash with a singular Ezra Miller in the leading role, but now we had a Flash with two Ezra Millers. You know, double the disaster. Absolutely amazing.
The Flash movie has only been out for a couple of weeks in cinemas, and in a couple more weeks' time, it's going to hit the digital platforms. Because Warner Brothers have completely and utterly given up on this film.
Smart.
And rightfully
Smart.
so.
Dude.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from Heel vs. Babyface. In less than a couple of hours' time, I'll be heading to the cinemas to see Indiana Jones and the Intersectional Feminist of Doom.
At least he knows what he's in for. He has no delusions that it's gonna be even tolerable.
And by Doom, I mean Doom for Lucasfilm. But before then, let's talk about another film that, well, let's just say ain't doing too well at the cinema. It's been out for 2 weeks now, and The Flash has only managed to muster up $93 million at the domestic box office. Not something that it wanted to
That
do
is
by any stretch of the
insanely bad.
imagination. This film is set to lose hundreds of millions of dollars.
I don't know how much it cost to make this, but most likely just the budget without the marketing was something like around 300 mil, most likely. Probably more. Plus marketing? Whoo! This is gonna be one big write-off.
Potentially up to around 400, maybe somewhere in the region of around 250 million. Regardless, it's set to lose a colossal amount. But not only that, things are going to get even worse because in 2 weeks' time, it's going to be put onto digital platforms. And when it goes onto digital platforms, that is pretty much going to kill anything that it will do at the cinemas. But will it be at any cinemas by then? Let's just have a look at this tweet by Luis Fernando, who...
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do the classical thing. Oh, we removed it from cinemas and put it on a platform, so the platform sales that this movie made actually made it worth it. It's not a disaster. No one hates Ezra Miller. He's great. That's ironically probably how they think, though.
Seems to keep an eye on the box office comings and goings. And they tweet out, exhibitors seem to have lost patience and want the Flash gone in a flash. It's a pun! As 1,538 movie theaters domestically will stop playing the film on Friday to accommodate the new debut, which I imagine is going to be the Indiana Jones movie, and holdovers with much better legs. So we might actually see films like Miles Morales getting more theater representation. How about that for D&I? If this proves to be true, and we'll soon find out, because sites like The Numbers here do, as you can see, register how many theaters this movie is going to be at, then this movie, which is already underperforming, is just going to be lynched. Never mind before it gets onto the digital platforms in...
Yeah, essentially, if we're looking per theater, this is like 82% drop from the release day on average per theater that they made to, well, the 28th of June. That's so horrible.
2 weeks' time. I can't see this movie doing too much more. And with the international box office still to be added to this week, it's only currently sitting at 216 million. However, I think this movie is really and legitimately going to be hard-pressed to hit 300 million in its box office run. And that is staggering, to say the least.
Is it though staggering? We're talking about DC here. DC's movie lineup has always been trash and trashier. And the irony of that, of course, is the fact that DC could absolutely own the movie, everything involved with movies and superheroes. Like, they would be the Avengers stage 1 or whatever it was called. When Avengers were good, actually. They could do it. Because DC owns Vertigo. And Vertigo, for those of you who do not know, is the mystical religious aspect of DC's comics line. Essentially, it involves our favorite boy, John Constantine. The guy who's smarter and better than that Batman. The guy who is literally more interesting than the whole DC lineup put together. The guy, if Superman goes on a rampage, he just blitzes through everyone, no issue. But when he sees John Constantine, he stops and thinks, wait a minute, if I go in, do I just automatically die? We're talking about that line, and he represents that. After Dark is definitely something that DC could do, and they could make billions, okay? It would be the new hip best thing ever. But they're not doing it. And admittedly, I don't think they can pull it off because they would take creative liberties and all of that garbage which no one wants to see. Oh boy. Man. If they actually implemented the After Dark and Vertigo, comic series lines that we can see, man, that would be an absolute game changer forever for the superhero industry.
As we look here, Black Adam lost, and this, by the way, this website has been exceedingly generous with the profit goals on
Black Adam ain't even such a bad movie, by the way.
Some of these movies.
It's not the worst by far.
The budget of Black Adam was allegedly $260 million. Then you've got to have the marketing. Then you've got to have how much money the studios actually take from the theaters themselves. Critical Drinker did a great video on that just a couple of days ago. Go check that out. So the profit goal of 520, that is, it has to hit 520 million to break even, is probably generous to say the least. But let's just play its game. Even with
it's not actually generous. So I also say this constantly. This is a small thing. The marketing usually is not the exact same budget as the creation of the movie. It's usually less. And so double that, it's just an easy way to put it, but double that is honestly a pretty good estimate.
With that generosity provided, it's lost $126 million. Nice. GG Black Adam. Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Oh boy.
Had a budget of around about, I think it was around 90 to 125 million. But let's just play its game. With a profit goal of around 250 million.
By the way, notice one thing here. These budgets, Shazam had 2 times less of a budget than Black Adam, and the movies are comparable in quality, easy, no problem. Like, yeah, Black Adam is slightly better, slightly more impressive, but that's with double the budget. This just shows how absolutely bloated and insane these budgets honestly are.
Okay. Still loses $116 million based off that. And they're setting the sights of The Flash hitting $440 million as the profit goal.
Only 220 budget?
The profit goal of this movie, the break-even point of this movie, has got to be somewhere in the realm of 650, 700 million.
Yeah, seems
minimum.
right. Seems right.
Minimum. But they do have that it's set to lose somewhere in the region of $400 million, which seems way more feasible. Ay, chihuahua. Now, let's go into this article from Screen Rant. Why have you gone to Screen Rant? I've gone to Screen Rant because it's always fun to read articles that have been provided by, let's just say, people who hate you, and seeing their spin and their verbiage on how things are going, because even they can't really defend the movie here. They try at some aspects, but we'll go into that. DC just gave The Flash the ultimate shade. The Flash's most...
My name is Ezra Miller. I'm the most coked up person in Hollywood.
Recent digital release update following Superman Legacy's casting news seems to show that DC wants to quickly move on. No shit, Sherlock, a movie which should have been a summer blockbuster, make no bones about it, is getting put onto digital platforms 30 days after release? That's insanity! Absolute insanity! And just proves how poorly this movie has actually performed and projected to perform within the next couple of weeks. That Warner have rushed to say, fuck this, we need to get onto digital platforms. At least getting onto digital platforms, there's a chance we might make a little bit more money than we would if we just left it to rot in the cinemas. The plans to release The Flash digitally so soon after its theatrical premiere, combined with the reveal of exciting news about the upcoming DC studio projects, shows that Warner Brothers are obviously desperate to move on from Andy Muschietta's Musketeers' disappointing 2023 film. After lengthy production period of turmoil and controversy, that controversy being that Ezra Miller is a fucking criminal and psycho.
Is that controversy? I think that's fact, boy. I think that's undisputed.
Gotcha. And several scheduling delays, The Flash finally hit theaters June 16th, marking Ezra Miller's first solo project in the DCEU. First and last solo project. This film isn't going to get anywhere close to a sequel. Let's not even joke about that. And good news, folks. Andy got promoted, and he will be directing Batman Brave and the Bold for James Gunn. Now, as a director, is he a bad director? The Flash movie, I wouldn't say that the movie was mind-blowing in its direction by any stretch, but it wasn't terrible. Yes, folks, this is the low bar of praise that we have. And also bear in mind that one of the writers on The Flash was also a writer on Birds of Prey, another movie which lost a shit ton of money for Warner.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot it. Oh man, throwing shade on everyone's favorite girl, Harley Quinn. How dare you?
As well, because in Hollywood, you fell upwards. And guess what? That same terrible writer is now part of James Gunn's writing team for his DC universe.
Nice.
Can you see that we're fucked yet? DC wants to quickly move past The Flash. The Flash was originally expected to be released digitally on September 2023. But Warner Brothers revealed on June 27th, that was a couple of days back, The Flash would have a digital release on July 18th, only a month after its theatrical premiere. The idea has only been exacerbated by the exciting casting news involving new iterations of Superman and Lois. James Gunn's DC Studios' new co-CEO revealed on January 31st, 2023 that Superman Legacy will reboot the Man of Steel for the new DC universe.
They have a co-CEO? Dude, usually things like co-CEOs don't actually last.
Yes. He also announced that the second movie is going to be The Authority, something that nobody's ever heard of. But don't worry, folks. That means you're going to get a boys-esque type of show, film. Fucking it's coming out of the cinema with a gay Superman and a gay Batman. I'm sure it's going to be a winner and $1 billion box office success.
$2 billion.
Comes only weeks after the news that Henry Cavill wouldn't be reprising the role in DC's live-action future. Weeks.
We just talked about Henry Cavill in the previous video. Nice.
This was announced in December of last year, and we're now on the verge of July. So it was announced 6.5 to 7 months ago. That's not weeks. That's who the f wrote this article?
Well, you can't make it into
Ty
weeks.
Young.
Oh, wow. Bruh, if you don't think that's a problem, I don't know what to say. Oh, no.
Man buns.
Kai Man Buns Young.
You see now why? Man Buns. What did he get paid for this art?
This is why no one likes Screen Rant, by the way.
That's a cool, huh? Half a cup of cold Starbucks? You should be so fucking lucky. On June 27th, David Corn Sweats and Rachel Bosnahans were confirmed to be portraying Superman and Lois Lane in the 2025 Superman Legacy. And they reckon that it's been announced now because of the writers' strike and the impending Film Actors Guild strike. And if they think this movie's going to come out July 2025, I think...
You know what's the best part about all these writer strikes and what now, actual, people who star in movies strike? You know what's the best part? At least Hollywood's gonna stop making shitty movies for a while. At least that's the best part of it.
They've got another thing coming. I think it's pretty much going to get pushed back from there. But this is where we are. Announcements being made about the upcoming James Gunn DC. Everything that's coming out before that, which is the Aquaman sequel and Blue Beetle. Wow, I mean, here, look at this head.
Bruh, Aquaman with everyone's favorite Amber Heard. Oh, no.
Here. Warner Brothers is leaving the DCEU out tonight. But they already did when they announced James Gunn's reboot of the DCU. I can't see Aquaman 2 doing any legs at the cinema. And I think Blue Beetle is going to go the way of Shazam. I think it's going to be an absolute turkey. And if you're talking about wanting to reboot, then why was the Flash show...
Wait, how good was Blue Beetle? I have no idea. People are not talking... What, has it not aired, maybe? That's why... I haven't watched it if it's out. I don't know if it's out. It was kind of, Blue Beetle's kind of cool. Wow, maybe we're gonna get something good, Once in a blue moon in a 10-year period, DC doesn't actually have to force in some kind of BS diversity in because Blue Beetle just fits the mark instantaneously. And I wonder if it's gonna be good. I wonder, because the Blue Beetle is not something where you just have to, shoehorn in all of your political talking points. So, I wonder, can Blue Beetle actually succeed? Or has it maybe succeeded? I want to watch it if it's out.
Now, and why wasn't The Flash the last movie that rebooted into the... Because none of it makes sense, because Warner Brothers have absolutely mismanaged these DC properties from the very first moment that they decided to create the DCEU. They tried to rush everything. They didn't take their time. They were playing catch-up to Marvel.
Oh, he actually said that. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they were just trying to run in Marvel's footsteps, yeah. This is why we watch him. The man's smart.
At least in their eyes. And it's led to an unmitigated disaster that's led to another reboot that is going to probably lead into another unmitigated disaster when you've seen the James Gunn slate for what he wants to release. Fucking just give up, folks. Seriously, just give up on all of this. I'll see you in the next video. You take care.
And that is Heel vs. Babyface, an absolute Giga Chat legend. Oh, man. What a great video. Absolute comedy gold. In any case, this was Quizzer Said 7. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.